No child should ever have to lose their life at the hands of a mom.
Heartbreak in Hampton.
It's a heart-wrenching thing for this community to, go through what it went through recently.
The community continuing to mourn the deaths of 34-year-old Emily Long, who is believed to have shot and killed her husband and two of their children.
So there's a bunch of what ifs, so it's tough. It's a really tragic thing to take place.
Now, Emily, at the center of the murder-suicide investigation, is accused of embezzling $600,000 over the past few years from her employer, Wingett's, according to the Boston Globe.
What she did to her employers, that's on her. 100% on her. But she should not be taking her children's lives because she chose to be a thief.
If Long were still alive, police would have continued their investigation.
We're going to be subpoenaing bank records. We'll be talking to forensic accountants to try to figure out where the funds went, whose accounts they went into, what the funds were actually spent on.
And the length of the investigation would have depended on where the money went.
If it got into kind of more of the modern stuff, Cash Apps, Venmos, and it also it can take time to get information back from those sources.
The New Hampshire mother who killed her husband, two children, and then herself allegedly stole $666 from her employer before the murder-suicide at the family's home in Madbury, New Hampshire. Earlier this month, the company's owner says, Emily Long, 34, was found dead from a gunshot wound inside the family's home on August 18, alongside her husband Ryan Long, 48, as well as their son Parker, 8, and daughter Ryan, 6, who were also shot and killed. Authorities say Emily, a mother known in her community for her warmth and love for her kids, had shot her family before turning the gun on herself. The story stunned the state, not just because of the brutality, but because it seemed to come out of nowhere. A mother, a wife, a woman struggling beneath the weight of something unseen.
The signs were there.
I was thinking a lot today about the different videos that I've posted and the different things I've talked about, and while they're all authentic and true, they are quite melancholy, if you will. And I feel like a lot of it is like, woe is me, this is gonna be so hard for me, how am I gonna navigate all this stuff for me? And I feel like I've forgotten the root reason of why all of that really does make me sad, and I wanted to talk about that. And it really is more of why I'm obsessed with my husband and how my fear of him passing is the cause of all of these woe is me, feel sorry for me, this is gonna be hard for me. So my husband is my perfect opposite. When people say that opposites attract, obviously we have common interests and stuff like that. But when people say that opposites attract, that is me and my husband to a T. And while it might not show it here, I am very outspoken, very impulsive, emotionally driven. I have absolutely no filter in a good and a bad way. I don't. Okay. Part 4. So the EMTs came, they got my husband. I called the Boston team because we were supposed to leave at I was gonna leave at 1:30, but we could leave by 2 and still be there in time for labs and all the appointments. I called them and I was like, do you want them to take him to the ER or do you want to just have him come? And we decided as a group that they would take him to the ER and that we would go from there. So they took him downstairs. It's just hard to see the person you love have to be helped downstairs, get him on the stretcher, get him onto the ambulance, and then go away. And thankfully, obviously, our friend was there and he was the most amazing support person for me because I wanted to crumble into a ball and die. But he was there for me. They took him away.
A complaint accusing her of theft from Wingets was filed with the Hampton Police Department on August 11th, 7 days before the murder-suicide. Police said, "Our department was not able to engage in a meaningful investigation prior to her untimely death." Hampton Police Chief Alex Reno said, noting the case remains open but suspended. Wingets did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Saturday. Its owner, Derek Fisher, was unavailable when reached by NBC News on Saturday, but told the Boston Globe this week that Long was suspected of embezzling about $666,000 from the business since January 2023. "She was essentially my number two in my company. We worked very closely together," he told the paper. Fisher said that on June 18, he and his bookkeeper noticed that a large number of checks from his business accounts had been written out to Long and deposited into her personal bank account. He said he confronted Long that day and asked her to provide 3 months of her prior bank statements, which she returned on August 5th. He reported that the statements looked unusual and he took them to Long's bank, which told him the statements had been allegedly doctored and manipulated, according to Fisher. He said he confronted Long again and asked her to accompany him to the bank, and she declined. Fisher said that he decided to give her time because he knew her husband had been diagnosed with cancer a few months prior.
Fed in shock and woke up with questions as crime scene tape wrapped around a nearby home and detectives walked out with evidence boxes, a place where just last week kids ran a lemonade stand.
It's just that kind of, I don't know, idyllic summer day, and then this, right? How does it go from that to this?
Police came to this Madbury, New Hampshire home for a 911 call Monday night and found a gut-wrenching scene. 4 members of a family dead with gunshot wounds, now identified as 48-year-old Ryan Long, his wife, 34-year-old Emily Long, and their 2 kids, 8-year-old Parker and 6-year-old Ryan. A gun nearby. A 3rd child, a 3-year-old, was found unharmed. Investigators now looking into the possibility it was a murder-suicide.